Have you ever wondered how people are making 10K, 20K, 50K a month in Shopify sales in the matter of weeks? Well, truth be told, I knew these things were possible because you see it all the time here on YouTube. And back in the day, people used to post their Shopify store screenshots on Instagram. But deep down, I really didn't think it was possible for me until I did it myself. And what I found scaling my own Shopify store to multiple six figures in under 6 months is you really only need 3 things to do it. So in this video, I'm gonna break everything down for you step by step. I'm gonna explain to you what these 3 things are, why they play such an important role when you're trying to scale your Shopify store, and how to implement them for your own store. Now, the very first thing that I like to start off with whenever I'm trying to scale a brand new Shopify store is the offer. Your offer is literally the heartbeat of your Shopify store. And I want you to think of your offer more than just your product. The offer is really all about positioning your product, the value that your product has, right? And you want to make sure when you're crafting offers, it feels like a no-brainer to your potential customer. At its core, your offer answers the unspoken question that your customers will have is this worth my money right now? And that question gets louder and louder as you aggressively scale. Okay, let me explain. As you start to scale your Shopify store, you are no longer speaking to a warm audience or people that already know and like and trust your brand. These people have never heard of you, never heard of your product, and have no reason to trust you at all. So if you don't have a good offer, especially when it comes to speaking to people that have never heard of you before, they're gonna give you the cold shoulder and never give you the time of day. So having a good offer is not optional, it is essential. I want you to think of your offer like a movie trailer. You only get a few seconds to get people emotionally hooked and invested to eventually go and buy the movie ticket. Okay. And I think we've all seen terrible movie trailers to after watching it, you're like, what the heck is that? I don't care about this movie. I'm not going to see it. But we've also seen good movie trailers. So at the end of it, you're like, man, I'm going to see that movie. I want to see that movie right now. And it's because it pulled at some heartstring inside of you. You are emotionally invested. The animation, the characters, the plot, everything that was going on just really intrigued you. And that's really the job of your offer. You want to make people feel something immediately and make them feel like they have to have your product. And that's when you know you have a good offer. So now I want to break down all the components of an irresistible offer. And these are the things that you have to have in place if you want to get people to act fast. So the first thing is a good product that has real tangible value, or you can easily showcase its perceived value. The second is a compelling price. And so the price and value of the product is very, very important, okay? So if people think the value of your product is $100 or $200 and you're selling it for 50% off or $50 off, right? People are going to be compelled to buy. And so you want to make sure that you have buy one, get one frees or 25% off plus free shipping. Like they should be feeling like they're getting such a good deal that they have to buy. So the third component to your offer should be removing all risk. And you do this by offering money back guarantees. This just helps your ideal customer feel comfortable knowing that they're not losing any money. There is no risk for testing out and trying your product. And if they don't like it, they can send it back. The fourth thing is having fast or free shipping or both. Shipping is normally one of the number one reasons why people do not buy. And so we live in this Amazon society, right? People want things in same day shipping or 24, 48 hours. So if you can provide fast shipping, it can really help conversions and those impulse buys, and free shipping as well gives even more value to your offer. Now, the fifth component of a good offer is having some type of free gift or bonus or add-on. This really just seals the deal It's like the icing on the cake for your offer. And this could be something that is pretty cheap from a cost of goods sold perspective, right? It could be a few cents or $1, like a bracelet or like a charm or something like that. But it really increases the perceived value of your offer in totality. And so I definitely recommend that you throw that into all of your offers. And then the last component, which is some type of urgency or scarcity. People have to feel like they can't take all day to make this decision. So it needs to be limited supply and it has to be for a limited time. So 24 hours, 4 hours only, 1 day only, right? That type of language really pushes your ideal customer to act fast. And so when you have all these components, this is how you craft an irresistible offer. Now, once you create your offer, this next step is honestly very critical because this is where the magic happens. And if you get this step wrong, your Shopify store is always going to struggle to scale. Okay. And so this next step is where you want to focus on your product page. Your product page is really the unsung hero of your Shopify store. It is literally one of the most important pages your Shopify store could have. Okay. And I want you to think of your product page kind of like a dinner party, right? You sent out all these invitations that you're marketing and you're inviting people over to your dinner party. You're inviting them to your home and people are showing up for the first time. They don't really know you. People are going to look around. They're going to look at your menu. And if people don't feel comfortable at this dinner party, they're just going to leave. And on your website, they're just going to bounce, right? And so you want to make sure that your Shopify store feels inviting and it feels like they're at the right place. And I'm going to break down these components for you. So when it comes to crafting the perfect product page, I want you to think about it like a silent salesperson. This salesperson is working for you 24/7, just going hard, not taking any breaks. But the problem is a real salesperson can take feedback and objections in real time and adjust. Your product page can't do that. So you really have to anticipate your ideal customer's needs and you have to eliminate any type of fears or anything that would cause them not to buy. And you have to answer all their questions up front. So you really have to do a lot of research and get in the mind of your ideal customer and make sure that you display it on your product page to put all of their fears at ease. So at this point, you may be wondering, how do you know if your product page is ready to be scaled? And I'm going to break down some of the most important components to a product page that you have to have in place to get you the best results possible. And the first place that you want to start with is the visuals. As human beings, we're very visual people. And honestly, a lot of us and most of us scan something first before reading it. And so you want to make sure that you have high quality videos and photos of your product, especially if you have a problem solving product. You want to be showing the before and after photos of your product. You really want to show the transformation that your product gives. And this is very, very important because if people can see themselves using your product, they are already halfway sold. Now, the next place that you want to take a look at is your product descriptions. And honestly, I think a lot of people get the product description area wrong. A lot of people just put technical jargon or just the actual specs of the product, but that's not the way to go about it. Here's what I recommend. So when it comes to writing product descriptions, you really want your product descriptions to be benefit driven, emotionally charged, and really people should understand what life would be like after purchasing the product. So what do I mean by that? So instead of writing made with stainless steel, you should write this product won't rust or stain after years and years of use. You see the difference? One is just calling out a fact. The other is telling you the experience that you'll get with this product. Which one do you think is better? So when it comes to writing product descriptions, don't just describe the product, paint the future for your ideal customer. The next component that you have to have on your product page is social proof. I cannot stress this enough. Social proof is so important in today's age. There's so many people scamming and there's so many copycat websites that without social proof, you're going to be dead in the water. And so you want to have as much reviews and UGC photos and videos of your customers using your product and giving their real testimonial about your product on your product page. It is vital to your success. People nowadays are not just going to have blind faith and just trust you. You have to have social proof on your product pages. So the last component to having a really good product page is really the user experience and performance of your product page. Right now, we live in a very mobile first environment. So you want to make sure that your product page is set up for mobile users. You also want to make sure that your product page and your Shopify store in general loads extremely fast. People don't want to wait. People do not have time for your product pages in your Shopify store to be loading slowly. So you want to make sure that your performance is in check. And then also you want to make sure that the actual layout of your product page makes sense. It's concise, it's to the point, people can find the information that they're looking for and they can easily get the answers to the questions that they have about your product. So once you have all these components in place, you are 100% ready to scale your Shopify store. Now, I'm really stressing this point because increasing your conversion rate, even if it's just 0.5% at scale, could mean thousands and thousands of dollars in your pocket. Or it could mean the difference between you actually being able to scale profitably or not. So definitely take the time and effort to really try to maximize as much as possible your product pages and your overall Shopify store as a whole. At this point, you have your irresistible offer. You've dialed in your product pages. You are now ready for the last step. And so if you want to scale your Shopify store as fast as humanly possible, the best way that I found to do this is by running paid ads. Now, when it comes to choosing what ad platform you should be using, I recommend that you ask yourself these two questions. The first one is, where is my audience already? Are they on Snapchat? Are they on Instagram? Are they on TikTok, right? And the second question is, where are you already posting organic content right now? So if you're already posting organic content on TikTok and it's working really, really well, then more than likely you should run paid ads on TikTok as well. Because what I found is repurposing some of your organic content as ads works really, really well and is one of the best starting places if you've never run paid ads before. Now, one of the biggest myths that I found that really holds people back is thinking that you need a big budget to start off with to scale. So when I scaled my first Shopify store, I started with just $20 a day. I did not start out of the gate spending $500 or $1,000 a day. And I honestly don't recommend you do that. I recommend starting small and building from there. So every Shopify store that I start to scale, I start off with $20 a day and I try out 3 to 5 different creatives that I think will work, okay? I have my offer dialed in and I have like 3 to 5 different creatives with different like marketing angles or different benefits that I think will drive sales for my ideal customer. And once I find a creative that works, that, starts bringing me money in profitably, I start adding budget, 15% every 3 days, right? And then if that continues to work, then I might just duplicate the campaign and add like $100 or $200 and see if that still works, and so on and so on. But you don't just start spending $500 or $1,000 a day on an untested product. It doesn't work like that. And so all you need to start off with is a $20 a day, and you can scale your Shopify store too. At this point, you have all the information that you need to scale your Shopify store as fast as possible. But when it comes to running paid ads, you may not know the best creatives possible to run for your Shopify store. So I've removed all that guesswork for you. So I definitely recommend that you check out this video right here.